Welcome back, Hopeful Tribe. We're live. I can't believe it. We haven't been live in forever. And I think this is your first
I've
live.
never been live. I mean, I'm alive, but I have never. Oh, yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, I'm Sue.
And I'm Deb.
Yes. And we are Hopeful Tribe. We hope one day we'll get bigger. But right now, we're this tiny little community trying to help people improve the quality of their relationships with themselves and others. So today we decided to go live for two big reasons. Number one, we just did um, five shorts about how to set boundaries, and we wanted to announce a special challenge for you about setting boundaries. And there's going to be some wonderful prizes we'll tell you about later. And also, today is Hopeful Tribe's second birthday. Yay! Yay! Oh gosh, Tora, excuse me. I have to bring the mic down away from the cat because it's more important you hear us than him. So, welcome. Um, Feel free to chime in the comments. Let us know where you're from, how long you've been part of Hopeful Tribe, um, anything you want to tell us, really. Just say hi, just so we know we're not all alone here talking to ourselves.
Well,
and the cat.
yeah.
Yeah. The cat's here. You want to see the cat? The cat's here on the printer. There you see it. Yeah. Okay. So I can't see you. Okay, that's better.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're here. Happy birthday, Hopeful Tribe. I can't believe we're two. It's crazy.
Well, I haven't been here for the whole 2 years, obviously. So yeah, but I can't believe you're two.
Right? Yeah, okay, so you came in when Hopeful Tribe was at about a year and 3 months, huh?
Right, because we've been together about 7 months. So yeah.
Well, almost 9, actually.
Oh, oops. Yeah. Right. 9. That's what I said. Math. What are we gonna
do? and I feel like I've learned so much in the last 2 years. But what's really amazing is that in those 2 years, um, you know, we've just done so much work together. I just can't believe how much we've done. But of course, there's plenty left to do.
For
right?
sure. Yeah. We even changed direction slightly when I joined, like refined it more to focus really on relationships, right?
Yeah.
With
For sure.
ourselves and others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was it like for you doing these boundary videos we did in the last week?
I learned a lot from doing these boundary videos. So at first we were going to just ad-lib them, and we had to ad-lib them and kind of then record later to really kind of delve into it, really, because it's such a hard thing to like I remember the first one when it was like, you never take out the garbage. It's like my ad lib back was like, oh, sorry, I'll do it. Right. Instead of like setting a limit. Right.
So yeah, she's so nice.
And she's like, what would you say if it wasn't me? And so, yeah, we were able to, get to it, but it was really sort of just hard to narrow down on this idea of setting boundaries. And actually I found that's going to lead to we're going to do our 3 questions too.
Mm-hmm.
Going to narrow it down to, 1 or 3 questions. We're talking about the boundaries. I find that it's harder with someone you love and don't want to sort of like rock the boat with. It's hard. It's easier just to sort of, if it's not a big thing, just to go along, which is maybe not a bad thing, but it feels better to set boundaries. And I learned a lot. during the process.
Cool.
I was doing these videos. Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you learn anything?
Oh, let's see. What did I learn over the last?
You already
week?
know so much, right?
Well, yeah. I don't know if I know so much. I'm more familiar with boundaries and where I'm good at setting them and where I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've always felt like it's been pretty easy to set boundaries with you since we've been together. It's
Mhm.
never felt like, oh, this is really hard. I don't want to make her mad. You know?
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't have that same kind of reaction when we were filming.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think
but
it was a matter of making you mad, though. I think it's a matter of kind of like, I've been single so long and things are just going lovely, And so, like, if things aren't a big deal, just sure, just kind of go with it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think for me, the stuff that I learned this week was more about editing.
Right, because we're using Premiere Pro now and we're using something else that maybe people haven't even heard of before. I don't know. When we were sharing the name of it with some tech friends we were out to lunch with last week, they were going like, what? I don't know that one. So
Which one?
the one that you used to use, what we're using before?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
used Power Director.
Yeah.
before.
Some others hadn't heard of that. But
Yeah.
we're using Premiere Pro, and Sue's a pro at it already.
Oh, whatever. Actually, you guys are getting the real boring inside baseball. Let's get
Right, let's
back
get
to
going.
the challenge. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had the comments on. I do. I haven't seen any yet. Feel free. Um, and that's okay if you don't want to either. You can just sit there quietly. We appreciate you, whether you're loud or quiet. Oh, Jocelyn's
Aw.
here!
Hey,
Yay!
Jocelyn.
She says, "Too cute."
Aw.
She thinks we're cute. Old people in love.
Okay. So we're gonna start with 3 questions, or we're gonna start with the challenge?
I wanted to start with the challenge.
Beautiful.
To
Let's do
make sure that people understand that after we made 5 shorts about setting boundaries, we want you to try it next. She said, "Hi, aunties."
So sweet.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Oh, hey, my cousin Anthony's there too.
What?
All right.
That's so cool.
Nice.
Yay. That's what's so wonderful about family, right?
Yeah.
They show up.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Mhm, at least some of the time. They show up.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so we did these 5 videos, right?
Yeah. And we did one on requesting people to disagree maturely.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else?
Yeah, the next one we did on sort of staying true to yourself. Sort of when you have a person who you're, in a relationship with and they have a strong opinion, you staying true to yourself and your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then one about asking for personal space when you need it.
Yeah. And then the next one was voicing your concerns instead of developing resentment. So just sort of speaking out when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the last one was about leaving a situation when someone communicates disrespectfully.
And we call that walking away when they cray. So Sue was cray and I walked away in the video.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That was her idea. I love that title, actually. So in the challenge, what we want you to do is tell us in your video about a boundary that you set or you had trouble setting, or what else could they do?
So you can also do a dramatic reenactment of a boundary with a friend, sort of like we did, right? We did sort of an improv. So you can do a reenactment of a boundary that you set with a friend.
Mm-hmm. Or you could actually film the boundary setting. So if you want to get really out there with it, you can film something, hopefully with the other person's consent, right? Where you're setting a boundary with somebody in your life.
Yeah.
So any of those 3 things is okay. And then just make sure to use the hashtag I have boundaries and tag us on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Right.
And we have Hopeful Tribe pages on all those sites now. And you can also use our personal ones.
Yeah.
If you
Can I
know
stop
them.
for clarification? This is
Sure.
the teacher in me. So the first one is they're going to tell us about a boundary, right? So that's
Right.
they're just going to write it, tell us.
Yeah. Well,
Correct.
they're going to tell us in video.
Okay, in video. So all of these are in video.
Right.
Right? So it's either the tell us in video or do a dramatic reenactment or film an actual thing with you and a
Yes.
friend. Yeah, you guys are at a coffee shop. I'm about to set a boundary with this person.
Yeah.
And you're going to film it. I want those. That sounds amazing.
live boundary settings.
yeah.
I would love that. That would be
Be sure to
everything.
include that hashtag though. I have boundaries. Yep.
And there are prizes.
My God, prizes. Okay.
Prizes.
Yep.
Okay.
First prize, $100.
Okay. Need some extra cash.
$100.
Need to
First
set a
prize.
boundary.
Yep.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Winner,
That's what
winner,
I'm
chicken
saying.
dinner.
Yep. And then the second prize, which actually is worth more,
We were going to put it at the top. We were going to put it at the top, but this is the second prize.
is a free coaching session with me or Deb.
Either
get
one
to
of
pick
us.
whoever you want to work with.
Third prize is a Hopeful Tribe t-shirt. They are amazing. You need to go on the hopefultribe.com website and look at our t-shirts. They're super cute. They're super cute. They have the logo on them.
We you know what? While you're talking to the people, I gotta bring it up because it's super cute.
Yeah. And so I wanted to actually get back to what the one of the hardest things about that I learned most about setting boundaries is that the goal of setting a limit or setting a boundary, it isn't so that I always thought you want to avoid arguments, right? And I realized in this process, the goal is not to avoid arguments. You can walk away if the person starts an argument. The goal is to take care of yourself with setting these boundaries, not hold on to resentments. So many times it's like, that is why people avoid setting boundaries, I think, just because other person's get mad. But that's not my job to figure out if they get mad. That's not my problem if they get mad. If I speak to them respectfully and set a boundary, that's just me taking care of myself. And what they do with it, I don't need to be tied to whatever that outcome is. Right? Yeah. So that was the biggest learning for me, actually.
Exactly.
So did you show the t-shirt?
Not yet. I'm about to
right on.
Present.
She's got all this fancy
share
stuff. She knows
screen. Okay. We're gonna go to. I have it. Oh, there it is. Going to share the t-shirt so you can get really excited. Hopeful Tribe. Don't you need one of those?
Yep.
You need
Look
one.
at that.
You need one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's the third prize.
Yeah.
That's the third prize.
That's the third
First
prize.
prize is $100. Second prize is the coaching session. Third prize is the t-shirt. Just for you telling us about your boundaries.
Yeah. And the deadline is next Friday, April 7th. And we'll come on at 4:00 again live to announce the winner.
Yeah.
So
simple as that.
Get ready. Start making your videos. We're so excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you want to just go into the
3 questions?
Three
Sure.
questions?
That sounds great.
Okay.
We were going to do one of our 3 questions about boundaries. So we came up with just 3 questions. Maybe we've covered a little bit of it actually, since we were sort of talking about what was hardest. But so who wants to go first?
I'll go first. You ask the question.
Okay. So our first question is, what types of boundaries are the hardest for you to set?
Okay. It's hardest for me to set boundaries with people who have any kind of power over me, right? So in the past, when I had bosses, those were really hard for me. When I've been in schools, professors, things like that. Anybody with power over me, I've had a hard time setting boundaries with, because I was always worried about what the ramifications would be.
That's actually interesting, because isn't that that's actually the third question that you're answering? Like, who do you have a hard time setting boundaries with? But we're talking about the 5 different kinds of boundaries, right? So which time, yeah, that's okay. We just came up with these middle of the night or something. Woke up hey, here's a question. No, but yeah. So is it voicing, you're staying true to yourself, or getting someone to speak respectfully to you, or which one of them?
I guess voicing my concerns is the hardest one, especially for when it comes to people with any kind of power over me, because I worry that if I voice my concerns, I'm going to get fired, or if I voice my concerns, I'm not going to get some other thing that I feel like I need or I actually need. Right?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you were answering it. You were answering it from that standpoint. I think, yeah. That
Hmm.
makes a lot of sense. The whole idea of voicing your concerns.
So like I've always lived in really high rent areas in
Mm,
my life, and whenever I've had landlords, I felt like mm, maybe it's not such a good idea to complain if I have a good rent,
mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I could end up, you know, out on the street or having to pay market rent, you know,
I get it.
if
I
I
get it.
complain too much.
Yeah,
And that's real.
that is
Some
real.
landlords will put you out.
And I've been in that same situation, right? Things are broken, just fix them yourself or
Yeah.
something. So they'll just be like,
Oh, look that up.
I never hear from you. Right. Yeah. YouTube, figure out how to fix that toilet. That sort of thing. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question I want to ask you is how do you feel when you set a boundary?
Oh, well, I guess it's two ways.
Mhm.
One, if I'm just setting a boundary with somebody it feels safe to set a boundary with, I feel fine. I feel the same as I felt before I set the boundary. But if it's in like a situation like with a landlord or someone I'm scared to set a boundary with, I get really anxious before I start to set a boundary.
Mm.
Yeah, gotta like talk myself into it almost, you know, like um get myself all psyched up and pray for a while and sing about
What
it,
would
you know.
Jeebus do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right on. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I guess we already sort of did the third one. Should we switch to
Oh yeah. Yeah, we did my third one already because I was talking about the
yeah, you
people
actually
with.
you sort of combined them.
Yes, I combine them.
That's good. She's
Isn't that
efficient.
beautiful?
She's
Yeah.
efficient. Susie's efficient.
So can I ask you the
Yeah,
question?
absolutely, absolutely.
I like that. So let's go backwards. Who do you have the hardest time setting boundaries with?
Yeah. So I think I have an easy time setting boundaries with people who I don't really know or I'm not really good friends with them because I don't care, you know, whatever. We're not friends anyway. Or like I'm not tied to. I have a more difficult time setting boundaries with people who are close to me, and I think it is because you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want there to be a rift. And as I said, the biggest learning for me in this was that when you set a boundary, it's about taking care of yourself, and you're not worried about like, oh, what if they want to fight with me or they're arguing with me or something or they're mad at me. That can't be your goal. Your goal has to be to take care of yourself. But with family and friends, it's like you don't want them mad at you, right? So it's more difficult. But I think it's worth it to do. But it is more difficult. So I have problems with more problems with people who are like close to me setting
Mhm.
boundaries. Yeah, I'm not going to pick out like any
You don't
individual
have to
person.
name
Yeah, I'm not going to name
anybody.
any names. But I was just saying with family it's harder and friends it's harder because I don't I want us to there not
Mhm.
to be a rocky relationship.
For sure. How do you feel when you set a boundary?
So, okay, I'm going to go with like how I feel right before.
Mhm.
Right before I set the boundary, I often feel like a little bit nervous, like, oh, how are they going to take this? But when I set a boundary, I feel strong and awesome. Like I did what I needed to do for myself. My tone was respectful. I said what I needed to say. So I just feel really awesome. And what I find is, even though there's that fear, and this is especially true with people who you're maybe not that close to, when you set a boundary, there isn't an argument. They just sort of like they're a little bit like, oh, and some people will respect it. Some people will actually just not, they'll walk away, not pursue it further,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, I feel nervous before, awesome when I do it. And actually even when I do it with people who are close to me, even if they get mad, if I know, yeah, I need to do that for me, I still feel good. I feel like it was the right thing to do. I feel like a relief.
Mhm.
There's like a sense of relief because I was holding something on my heart that I needed to say. So yeah.
That's awesome. All right. What types of boundaries are hardest for you to set? Here's
So
the list if you need to
so
refer.
so I would say the walking away when they cray, the leaving a situation when
Mm.
someone communicates disrespectfully. And I think because it just like escalates, and then sometimes if I'm getting upset, I'll let it escalate, so it just escalates to a higher thing. Like, you can't say that, I'll say that, back and forth, right? So that part, and then two, walking away, it almost seems like you gave up on the conversation.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And there's even all those things like, oh yeah, you're just, like you might get some feedback like, oh, you're just going to walk away because we're talking. So that whole, walking away when it gets escalated, I think often my instinct is to stay with it and try to de-escalate the situation rather than walking away, even if it's like the person's getting crazier or, speaking more disrespectfully, kind of like to do the, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not sure why you're yelling at me. Can we bring it down? I'm actually not saying those sorts of hurtful things to you. I'm actually not trying to hurt you in this situation. Try to like sort of reason and get it back to a place where we can talk. So I think, but sometimes it doesn't get back to the place where you can talk and they're just still mad and you've expended a lot of energy. So yeah, the whole walking away instead of like trying to fix it, which might be part of that whole codependent thing that we talked about a few videos back, right? I'll try to fix it, because I'm too tied to the outcome, which you're not supposed to be, right? You're not supposed to be tied to the outcome. You're supposed to just say your truth. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're amazing.
You're amazing. We're amazing.
I want to say hi to Elle, naturally, who just came in. That's so awesome. I'm glad you could make it. And now I want to open this up to anybody who's here. If you have a specific boundary that you've been wanting to set but have had difficulty setting, if you put the situation in the chat, we'll actually role play it for you and see if we can do a good job of setting the boundary.
So this is the point where we'll know if those people who are family and friends on there just like said hi and then went to go do the dishes or something. Right? So yeah, so again, the thing is like if you have a boundary that you think, oh, I've been meaning to say this thing to this person and I really need to say it. Yeah, it's just the situation. If you can share it in the chat, we would love to, role play that for you. And if not, we'll just come up with one ourselves.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So suggestions from the audience. even if you don't have a good one that you're working on yourself, even if you just have a funny one that you want us to like act out.
Mm-hmm,
All right. Well, they're thinking. Let's us think of one.
Okay. Cool.
You think one?
I got one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So this morning I went to the farmer's market.
Oh.
And this big white guy got all in my space to tell me that I couldn't walk on the street during the farmer's market with our dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, well, we could just play it out.
Okay. Right. So am I the big white guy?
Yeah, you're the big
I'm the big white guy.
You're the big white
guy.
There you go. Okay.
I'm
just walking with my dogs.
Hey, excuse me. I mean, it's posted everywhere. I don't know if you saw the sign, but it's posted like at least right there, at least one place. You cannot walk your dogs here.
Yeah, I'm just going home.
Yeah, but I wanted to let you know that you can't walk your dogs here.
Okay, yeah, you told me. Just get away from me. I love that.
Okay, so what part
was funny?
Okay, let's read the comment from L. Work-life boundaries are tough for me. I work from home like many of us, and sometimes people close to me think I am endlessly available. Oh, to do chores and childcare.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one. Probably a lot of people have this.
I love it
too. All right. Are you the work at home person, or are you the friend who wants
childcare?
Yeah.
Well, last time I was the obnoxious person, so this time,
okay,
let me be the
you be the work at home person. Okay.
All right. So, but you start.
Oh, hey, Deb. How you doing?
Oh, so good to see you. Yes. What's up?
I really hate to bother you, but I have no childcare today. I was hoping that you could watch Johnny for a few hours.
I'm so sorry, but I have to take care of my work today, so I won't have time to watch Johnny.
Oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to miss work again.
Gosh, that totally sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do it though.
But you're just sitting here. He play quietly by you while you work.
Yeah. He can't. I mean, I've said it clearly. And yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to change my mind. Thanks for coming by.
Well
Slam.
done. Well done.
So I'd like to say something about this idea, right? Often, as the person does the pushback, we tend to use a lot of words, and there were some triggering words with the. I don't know if anybody in the audience there identified them. Sort of like, you're just sitting here, right? And so sometimes with me, I'll get triggered by that, and then it'll turn into a whole conversation where I'll escalate it, right? Instead of just walking away or slamming the door, right? It's like, so yeah, that's something to be aware of with boundaries. Like, don't get tied to like, oh, you're offending them or they're insulting you, even your own ego. They're insulting me. No, I'm just gonna, stick with my no. Yeah, that was a good one, Elle. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally broad appeal, I bet.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any other ideas? Hey, anybody out there?
Yeah, I can't read the comments without. Oh, we got some thumbs up. Thanks, Al.
I'm just sitting there. Right. You've heard that one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we don't have to explain ourselves. We're not theirs for, I mean, you're not there to be their babysitter,
Mm-hmm.
If you can do it, it's nice. If you can't, yeah, not to be there to be their babysitter. Let's try to think of another one.
I wanted to say one more thing about that. I feel like an old medicine teacher of mine said that there's a lot of people out there from the taker religion. They just take and take and take, right? And over the years, I've started limiting how many of those people I keep in my life, right?
Right. It's true.
Because it's really hard if your friends or, relations are of that religion. It's just hard because you have to constantly be putting out energy to set boundaries,
Yeah. Yeah, actually, energy to set boundaries, and I'm even thinking about the one that Elle, that was such a good one because there was like an opportunity for a double boundary, right? Like I was saying, like you could get triggered when they're saying you're just sitting here. You could actually jump in and say like, that's really that, when you say that, when I hear you say that, it makes me feel bad. That's kind of a hurtful way to speak. Or not blaming them, it's a hurtful way to speak, but kind of like express that that's either hurtful or whatever it feels like to you. And then still keep it moving, right? But yeah, to let them know that they said it and maybe it was designed to hurt, and you're letting them know that it hurts you. There's even room for that to sort of set both boundaries, both sort of like walking away from that situation and the one about getting people, expecting them to communicate maturely. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like put a little bit of something on that too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you, Elle. That's awesome. Does anybody else have a situation they want us to role play?
Yeah.
Or a question or a comment about boundaries?
What you got? Jocelyn, you still there? What you got? I wish we'd written some down. What are some other ones where we've needed to set boundaries? Let me think.
So many.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. What about one where like this happened to me? So I was at the grocery store and I let someone thought they'd been in line first, and so I was like, oh sure, yeah, go ahead and get back in line in your place. The person behind me got mad. And then they cut in front of me. They were like, you obviously have all the time on your hands in the world, and like got in front of me. Is that a good one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to know like what we would do in this situation. Which person you want to be?
Well, do we need to role play that one, or you want to just
let's talk it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were the person standing in line, and you let somebody go ahead of you.
Right. It was a person who'd maybe been there before, but lost his spot because he looked to the side. And I was like, no, go ahead. Get back in line where you were. The person behind me got mad and said, hey, you can't let that person have cuts. And then I was like, okay, sorry, And then the person was like, obviously you have a lot of time on your hands, and then went and got in front of me. It was really weird.
That's like crazy town.
It was super crazy town. Yeah.
I probably let him go ahead just because I was worried,
Yeah,
that he's a little too off for me
to deal with, huh?
yeah.
So sometimes you just have to sort of let it go. Is that like sort of the walk away situation,
Yeah,
right?
that's the walk away thing. I mean, I think safety's always first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
somebody's acting really strangely around me and I don't know them,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just assume the worst
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stay safe.
Yeah.
Like this person could really not be right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I guess that's it too. Look at how safe are you in setting some sort of boundary or something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and in that situation, I did exactly that. It was disturbing, but I was just like, yeah, just let them go ahead, and because I did have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a rush. That's why I let the other person go in front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I'm inclined, since nobody else has any ideas, to start making our Friday dinner.
Oh, all right.
And maybe we could just quickly reiterate what the challenge is and encourage people to enter.
Nice.
So um, we're hoping that you're going to um, do some videos about boundaries like we did. Just little short ones. They don't have to be long. One of ours was like 13 seconds long,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And you can either tell us in the video about a boundary you set or had trouble setting, or you could,
Oh yeah, you boundary you set or had trouble setting, or you can do a dramatic reenactment of a boundary with a friend.
or you could film an actual boundary setting.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
while you're doing these, you're thinking in terms of those five ideas of, oh, wait. Absolutely, Aunt. Thank you so much for coming, buddy. Thank you so much.
Yay!
I can't wait till you meet my lovely Sue in person, but I really can't. Yeah, Mike.
It's like we already met them.
Yeah,
right?
this is like my handsome cousin Anthony.
Oh, nice,
Yep,
nice.
yep, yep.
Well, your whole family's good looking.
They are, they are.
You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so think in terms of the five boundary ideas that we've had, right? So look at those and think where those have appeared in your life and do one of those three things for a prize. What's first prize again, babe?
Oh, well, first of all, I got to back up and ask you to make sure to put hashtag I have boundaries in your video and then tag us on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, okay? Because otherwise we won't know that you made this amazing video and you wanted to enter it into the challenge.
Yeah, and
right?
we're trying to get this hashtag started, right?
Right.
Hashtag I have boundaries.
That's
Yeah.
right. And first prize is $100.
$100. Yup.
Right?
Yep.
Second prize is a free coaching session with me or Dev. Your
Yeah.
pick.
Right?
Either
Right?
way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. If you ask real nice, we both might show up.
There you go. There you go. And we'll act out all the problems you're having with your family. No,
Right.
we won't do it. And then third prize is a Hopeful Tribe t-shirt. It'll have the Hopeful Tribe logo. You can see that up there in the corner of your screen.
The lovely logo.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So thanks so much for being here on a Friday afternoon. Hope you have a beautiful weekend and you stay feeling loved and hopeful the entire week till we see you again.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great one.